To everyone reading this, thank you for trusting me with your time. I promise this story will grip you, make your heart ache, and linger in your thoughts long after the last word. The first time I saw her glare at me across the kitchen table, I knew it wasn't just a fleeting annoyance. "I want the house," she said, her voice sharp enough to cut through the morning sunlight streaming in. She wasn't smiling. She never smiled anymore. Not at me, not at the life we'd built. I sipped my coffee slowly, pretending not to notice the tremor in her hands. "The house?" I asked carefully, keeping my voice even. "You mean you want to move out? You want me to leave?" Her eyes narrowed. "I don't care what I want," she snapped. "The house is mine legally and morally. You know that." For a long moment, I just stared at her, trying to reconcile the woman I married with the person in front of me. I wanted to ask why, but I didn't. There was something dangerous in her calm fury, a storm waiting to break, and I didn't want to be caught in it. The following weeks were tense. I noticed the little things first: the missing keys, the unopened letters, the faint smell of perfume that wasn't mine. I chalked some of it up to paranoia, some to her growing bitterness. Yet deep down I knew something was off. I could feel it, a prickling sense at the edge of every conversation, every glance. One evening, while she was out, I stayed behind, pretending to watch television but really scanning the house for clues. That's when I found the folder, her financial papers tucked under a loose floorboard. I hesitated, fingers hovering over the documents, knowing that reading them might be the end of trust between us forever. But I couldn't stop myself. The papers revealed transactions, meetings, and whispered agreements with someone from her past. A man I had always considered dangerous, reckless, the type who thrived on chaos. My chest tightened. "No," I whispered to the empty room. She wouldn't. But she had. And the more I read, the more I realized how meticulously she had planned it. Every step, every word, every smile directed at me had been a performance. Betrayal wasn't sudden. It had been simmering beneath the surface for months, maybe years. I confronted her that night. "Who is he?" I demanded, my voice a mixture of fury and heartbreak. "Why are you meeting him behind my back?" She didn't flinch. Instead, she tilted her head, a sardonic smile playing at her lips. "You always were too slow," she said. "Too blind. Maybe that's why you didn't see this coming." I felt a rush of disbelief, a wave of anger, then icy resolve. I thought about all the nights I had spent imagining her confession, all the arguments that could have saved us if honesty had been her choice. But she had chosen secrecy, manipulation, and me? I was left holding a hollow shell of a marriage. Weeks passed. She continued her demands, pressing for the house, pushing for more control, flaunting her confidence as if I were powerless. But I wasn't powerless. Not anymore. Every sleepless night, every silent dinner, every quiet observation had been preparation. I had learned her patterns, her arrogance, her predictable need for dominance. And I had a plan of my own. The day I called the lawyer, she didn't notice anything out of place. "I'm serious," she said, twirling a ring on her finger. "I want the house. You can't stop me." "I can," I said quietly, and her laughter rang hollow in the hall. "I just need to finalize a few things." She didn't realize the significance until the paperwork arrived. The house wasn't hers. It never would be, because I had sold it. To him. The one person she had always feared. The one name that had haunted her dreams for years. I watched her reaction as she skimmed the documents. Disbelief, panic, then a slow, terrifying recognition. "You," she began, but words failed her. I stepped closer, my voice calm but cold. "You demanded the house, and I honored your wish. I sold it. To someone you can't control, someone who doesn't care about your schemes or your threats." Tears welled in her eyes, but they weren't the kind of tears I remembered. They weren't sorrow or regret, they were fear. Fear that her manipulation, her cruelty, her betrayal had finally met a consequence she couldn't charm her way out of. I felt a strange emptiness as I watched her crumble. It wasn't satisfaction. It was the quiet, lingering ache of betrayal. A marriage that had once promised warmth and safety had turned into a battlefield of secrets and lies. And in the end, the only thing left was silence. Weeks later, I walked through the empty rooms one last time. The walls still held echoes of laughter and arguments, love and disappointment. I traced the contours of the house as if trying to imprint its memory on my mind. It wasn't mine anymore. But perhaps, in letting go, I had reclaimed a part of myself I had lost to her deceit. I didn't expect closure to feel this hollow. I didn't expect relief to taste like ash. But as I stepped outside, the sun cutting through the morning mist, I realized that betrayal teaches a strange kind of clarity. You see the world and yourself stripped of illusions. You understand the people who truly matter, and the ones who are nothing more than shadows. I never spoke to her again. I never needed to. The house had become a symbol, a monument to everything that had gone wrong, and to the cunning lesson that sometimes, the most powerful revenge isn't cruelty. It's simply giving someone exactly what they demanded, in a way they could never have imagined. And as I walked away, leaving the past behind, I knew that the heart can survive betrayal. It can endure fear, loss, and the collapse of trust. It can even find freedom in the ruins. And sometimes that freedom is the only justice you need.